Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dream Leapers Inspiration. I'm your host, Harriet Cole, and it is my honor to be with you today. I hope that you are doing great. I hope that you are happy. I hope that something touched you since we were last together that told you you deserve to be happy and that you are just clinging to that and owning it and cherishing it and just being uplifted as a result of it. This is what I hope for each and every one of us. And by the way, I do believe it is a choice. It is a choice to open your eyes and notice that joy. It is a choice to access it, to cultivate it, to nurture it, and to witness it manifest in your life. It is a choice. And I had just the most exquisite experience this past weekend. My sister's youngest son, Cameron, graduated from college, from Morgan State University, which is my father's alma mater. And my sister has 3 children. They're all doing so well. And Cameron graduated cum laude and just with the biggest smile on his face. And the whole family was absolutely thrilled for this important moment in his life and in our lives. And so my sister organized a beautiful luncheon for him. And my husband and I came down from New York to Baltimore to go. And there are many people who came. My mom, who I talk about all the time, came. Her caretaker came with her. And her dearest, oldest friend also came. We call her Aunt Margaret. And I had the privilege of sitting with them during the meal and observing them and listening to them. And it was exquisite to see these women just being together. And it made me smile so wide that I felt like my cheeks were going to fall off. It was just so beautiful to witness them. And so I wanted to devote today to talk about cherish friendship. Cherish your friendships. Please do. If you don't think that you do, now is the time. Now is the moment to just embrace the people you love and honor the people that you love. Let them know that you love them and that you value them. So I want to tell you a little bit about these women. My mother's Doris Cole. Her friend is Margaret Turner. They have been friends since they were 3 or 4 years old. So my mother is 94. So it must be it. So and Margaret is 95. Yes, and for those of you who can see, here they are. This is when they were just greeting each other with their beautiful white hair, and they're still stylish girls. So one of the funny things that has occurred over all of these years is Aunt Margaret will say, I'm the older one. Because she's born in March and my mother's born in October. So Aunt Margaret is already 95. My mother has a few months to go. So Margaret lovingly likes to tease her and say she's the older one. But just imagine this, to have a best friend whom you have loved since you have memories. Think about, what do you remember when you were 4 years old? Virtually nothing. Well, let me not say that. You might have a better memory than I, but I what I remember, actually, is my sister Stephanie was born. That was the most pivotal moment in my life before having my own child, and I decided she was mine, and while she's my sister, she is my heart. So I do remember that from 4 years old. Well, these ladies have remained close friends for their entire lives, and there's just so much joy that you see when you look at them. Their smiles are genuine. They they both were saying, "Girl, I can hardly hear," and "Girl, I can hardly talk," but it doesn't matter. Oh, excuse me, not talk, see, because for many people, when you get old, your eyesight weakens and your hearing weakens, and they didn't care. They were holding each other's hands and loving each other and feeling so grateful to have the occasion to be together and to have the occasion to be together for a celebration in our collective family. And so spending time just observing them was was fuel for me. It made me see how important friendship is and how important it is to choose to cultivate and nourish those friendships. And of course, as these women have gotten older, it becomes the responsibility of their children to make sure that they get together. And so my sister, who's in Baltimore, and her daughter, who is with her, make that happen. You may have elders in your life, you may not. I thought this was a beautiful story to share because it shows that friendship can last literally forever. Literally. Imagine that. For as long as you live, you could have a friend. And as I recall over the years, my mother and Aunt Margaret didn't see each other all that much all the time. There were different stages, when my mother was busy taking care of me and my sisters and had her life with my father, and they did not live in the same they didn't navigate in the same social sets. So we saw Aunt Margaret, but not that much. This was way before cell phones. They didn't talk all the time, but they loved each other all the time, and they made time for each other when there were needs. And they celebrated each other at all of those high points throughout the year and throughout the years. So I ask myself and I ask you, do you cherish your friendships? How do you treat your friends? How do you pay attention in those relationships? Are you so busy that maybe you don't even remember? Do you have times when you feel down and you question, do you have friends? What is your relationship to friendship in your life? And I've been asking myself that very question. So I'm asking it of all of us. I will recall recently, there was a time in the past couple of months, was a tremendous amount of tension for me, not so much work, but just life. And I was feeling contracted. And as I was feeling contracted, I felt completely alone. Literally, I just felt like I had no one. And that is so far from the truth, but it doesn't matter. In that moment, I felt that way. And I wonder if any of you, no matter who you have who loves you in your life, have you ever had a moment when you felt alone, disconnected, that whatever love you need in your life, that it wasn't there? So I felt like this a couple weeks ago. And because I have trained myself to be reflective, to be self-reflective. What's going on? Why do you feel this way? How can you reconnect? Of course, the first connections you want to make is to your own spirit. And then beyond that, to the people who love you and who you love. And so I said, I did something that my mother has taught me and reminded me many times, count your blessings. And I started writing it down. And literally what I started writing down was my friends. This is what occurred to me. Who can I call? Who are my friends? And in this sort of sad moment, I had a blank. And to any of my friends who might be connected in this broadcast, it's not about you. It was about me. There was a blank. Who are my friends? Nobody came up. I felt completely alone. And so then I started my list. Well, who are my friends? And I started with my family, my blood family, and then I moved on to the people who have become family. And the list grew. Now, my mother used to tell us all the time, you should be able to count your friends on one hand. If you have more than that, they're not really your friends. I understand that. And I want to say that I'm really blessed because I have more than one handful of friends. People are friends in different ways at different depths, but I do feel a tremendous blessing of having a nice big armful hug of friends. But in that moment, I didn't recognize it. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever felt just completely alone? Now, when you when and if you get to that place where like the list of who your friends are is empty, before you panic, sit with yourself and ask yourself why. And in some instances, you could feel disconnected because you haven't taken the time to nurture those bonds. You haven't watered the plant, so to speak. You may have inadvertently taken those friendships for granted. These are things that we do when we're busy, when we're distracted, when we're unhappy, when, so-called life gets in the way. But I want to challenge you on this because I don't think I'm different from any of you. And I'll tell you something that has happened for me. There are a few people in my life who I could go months, perhaps even years without communicating. And if I see you walking down the street or the phone rings and you're on the phone or vice versa, all of the love, all of the depth of connection is there, like it's been the whole time. That connectivity is real. And true friendship and true love do not dissipate. You can have your feelings hurt because, well, I really miss you. I wish we would talk more. You can have that. But true friendship just is. And therefore, it deserves to be cultivated and nurtured and cherished, which is why I wanted us to talk about this today. And I love looking up quotes so I could share a quote with you. I found an incredible quote. I found so many. I found some that were very simple. And as I was trying to figure out what would be the best quote to explore today with you, I picked one that was practical. It has things to do. And so let's examine this quote now. Let's examine the quote now. It says, I think if I've learned anything about friendship, it's to hang in, stay connected, fight for them, and let them fight for you. Don't walk away. Don't be distracted. Don't be too busy or tired. Don't take them for granted. Friends are part of the glue that holds life and faith together. Powerful stuff. Isn't that something? That's from a man named Jon Katz. Let me share it with you again because there's a whole lot in there. There's a whole lot in that quote, and I'd like to share. I think if I've learned anything about friendship, it's to hang in, stay connected, fight for them, and let them fight for you. Don't walk away. Don't be distracted. Don't be too busy or tired. Don't take them for granted. Friends are part of the glue that holds life and faith together. Powerful stuff. Isn't that good? Stay connected. Hang in there. Fight for your friends. Let your friends fight for you. You know how sometimes we'll say, oh, no, it's okay. I'm all right. I'm all right. When you're not. And your friends are just right there waiting to support you. Don't shoo them off. Say, yes, I need your support. Please fight with me. Fight for me. I need you. Tell your friends you need them. Don't act like you don't need them when you do. Pay attention to your friends. I love this. Don't be distracted. How often are we so busy that we do not pay attention when our friends need us? You know, that the curse of multitasking. Well, I'm going to talk to you on the phone while I'm doing three other things. Is that what you should do? Or could you just spare a complete moment to connect with the people you love and let them know you're thinking about them genuinely, authentically? And don't be the friend who only calls when you need something. To me, that is not necessarily a sign of an authentic friendship. If you're only calling because you need something, then there's a contingency around that friendship. Just call to say, I love you. I'm thinking about you. I want you to know that you're on my heart. Just call with a smile. You know, one of the quotes that I found said you can, something like this is a paraphrase, but the sign of a true friendship is when you can be together in silence and it's comfortable. Do you have a friend like that? You don't have to talk. You can just be. You can just be near each other and you feel that it's something that you can't necessarily put words to. I think that's where poetry comes from, by the way, when people are trying to express what's in the heart and they can't quite figure it out. And as you feel love and connection to others, and there's safety that comes in that, and it's like a plant being watered. It's just full and wonderful and healthy. You can just sit with that. I saw my mother and Aunt Margaret doing that. They were just sitting with each other at a certain point, and they were funny because they're like, well, we can't really hear that well. We can't see that well, but we are so happy to be together. And Aunt Margaret said to me, I said to her, I just love seeing the two of you together. It is so beautiful. She said, well, we love it too. We love each other. And so we're happy to be together. Again, 94 and 95, y'all, a forever friendship. So, what are the forever friendships in your life? Do you have them? Do you know which ones they are? Do you have people who are your ride or die no matter what, there for you? People who tell you the truth the way you can receive it? That's one of the things that I want more than anything. I pay close attention to surrounding myself with people who will tell me the truth the way that I can receive it. So I'm a sensitive person. My feelings get hurt more quickly than I would like to admit. I'm also a strong person, so I can get over it when it happens, but I would rather not have the experience of someone I love hurting my feelings in those tender moments. And so I have worked very hard at curating my life so that those people, some of them are in my life, but they are not in the inner circle. Because I used to make that mistake of including people in the inner circle before they had gained entry, before they deserved to cross over into that space. And so I stopped doing that because I would get my feelings hurt all the time. Like, wait a minute, this is my doing, my fault. Jon Katz says we have to cultivate our friendships. We have to pay attention to our friendships. We don't want to get distracted. He says, I think if I've learned anything about friendship, it's to hang in, stay connected, Fight for them and let them fight for you. Don't walk away. Don't be distracted. Don't be too busy or tired. Don't take them for granted. Friends are part of the glue that holds life and faith together. Think about that. Friends are part of the glue that holds life and faith together. Yes, Jon Katz, that is powerful stuff. And by the way, this does not mean that friendship isn't rocky. And look, the people you love the most are the people who have the ability to hurt you and for you to hurt. Other people, I mean, shy of disastrous things happening, other people cannot hurt you anywhere near as much as people you love because you don't care about them. Not really. So while we sometimes go, oh my God, I can't believe so and so did that. I can't believe so and so said that. I can't believe this person who I love so much would do such a thing. Well, we hurt the people we love because we care about them the most, and people aren't perfect and we mess up all the time. So, practicing forgiveness is a huge part of being able to have a healthy friendship. You really need to understand that someone does something that you don't care for, you can address it, you should address it, but don't hold on to it. Don't walk away, Jon Katz says. Don't walk away. Deal with it. What happened? Okay. Put on your big girl panties, big boy panties, so to speak, and address it. What happened? What happened? What went wrong? Where was the violation? If you have enough presence of mind and self and engagement with your own power, then you have the ability to say what is on your mind and on your heart. And ask the other person to sit with you in the moment to address whatever it is. Instead of walking away, address it. When you value the relationship, then that's worth doing. Now, mama's wisdom again. Years ago, when I had a falling out with the person I thought was my dearest friend when I was a child, and I tried to reconnect, to figure out what happened. Why are we in this place? Why are you doing these things that you're doing that were so unkind to me? And I walked into a brick wall, no response, no, literally no response. I would attempt, and we were children, so children do some things that don't make any sense. Because there was no response, because I was the only one trying, and I was just brick wall, brick wall, brick wall. And I told my mother, and she says, sometimes you have to walk away. So even though Jon Katz is saying, don't walk away, there are times when you have to walk away from the friendship. If it's a true friend, you want to work it out and you make the effort. If the relationship has proven itself not to be healthy for you and or the other person, then you sever the friendship. And you do that very carefully after much contemplation. If there's someone you love, you don't just walk away because it got hard. It needs to be, in my view, and all that I've read and studied, if your values are conflicting, if that person is hurting you, if it is unhealthy for you to be in that relationship, if it is unhealthy for your ecosystem, your life, your world. If it is unhealthy and unsafe, then you walk away. But if it's just hard and you need to work through something and there's a misunderstanding or words were spoken or something happened and it was you're hurting, or you did something and the other person is hurting, own up to it. Address it. Fight for the friendship. Be honest. Be willing to do whatever it takes to get to the other side. Why? Because true friendship can last a lifetime. A lifetime. Think of that. My closest friend from home, Lejeune, became as close as we are thanks to a mutual friend, Todd. We grew up, Lejeune and I went to high school together, and we knew each other, but we weren't close. I don't even remember how Todd and I became friends or how Todd and she became friends, but separately, Todd was like a brother to me. I don't have a brother. And he was a best friend brother to me. And he very sadly, right before I got married, and I just celebrated my 31st wedding anniversary. Amazing, right? Right before we got married, Todd was ill and he knew that he was dying. And he told Lejeune and me, he put us together. And he said, you two need each other. So I'm giving you to each other to be close because you're going to need each other. And he was very intentional. And we liked each other. We didn't really travel in the same circles. So we weren't close. Well, thanks to Todd and his vision for us and for our healing, because we were so close to him. And he was young. I mean, he was 32 maybe when he passed away. We were able to survive that and continue to be sisters, to become sisters. And that's what we are today. Now, I could go through and tell you the other people who are my friends. There are quite a few of them with whom I have very specific, precious relationships. And in some instances, we've had to duke it out and work through stuff that's been really tough. And thank God, because we love each other, we have. How beautiful is that? Don't walk away when it's real. Cherish your friendships. Hold on. Let your friends know you love them. Just send a text, call today. Make that list. Make the list like I did when I was feeling like I didn't have any friends. And it happens. It happens. Make the list. Look at your life. Pan through your whole life. Who do you love? Who loves you? Make a list. Write those names down and then contact those people. And by the way, it can include people who have passed on. Even for that, for the people who have passed on, thank them. Thank them from your heart for being part of your life, for loving you, and for loving you even now after they are gone. Because I know you can feel that love. I do. And for those of you who are very, very, very close to your family, don't take them for granted. Let them know how much you care about them, how much you love them. Tell them now. One of the things that I do, especially since COVID, just about every time I see people that I care about, I'd say, let's take a picture. And because we have these phones now, it's so easy to take pictures. Let's take a picture. Let's capture the moment. Let's capture that joy, capture that feeling in an image. And then when you have those tender moments, when you're feeling a little down, look at it. Look at that photo and smile. Look at that photo and re-engage the joy that you had in that moment when you saw each other. Friendship can be beautiful. It can feel like blood. Love is like blood. We need love in order to live. So let us live love. Let us live love through our connections with our friends. Let us cherish our friendships and let our friends know how much we care about them. Choose someone today. Make your list, and somebody on that list, call them. Write to them. Send them a picture. Share your joy, share your love, cherish your friendships so that they grow and stay alive forever. Doris Cole, my mother, is living proof. She's so blessed to have not even just one friend who's 95. She has Aunt Ellen too. There are 3 of them right now who are still living, and actually there are even more. Aunt Maddie. I mean, there's a group of these badass elder women who are alive and thriving and who love each other. Who are those people in your world? Whoever they are, reconnect with them. Tell them how much you care about them. Tell them today. Cherish your friends. It will make you taller. It will make you sleep better. It will make your day go by so much more sweetly because the love resonates within your being. And then it exudes like out of your skin, out of your breath. And other people are attracted to that. And being attracted to love means suddenly you are supported, you are uplifted, and doors open that you may not have even noticed were there because your pulse is the pulse of love, the pulse of honor, the pulse of friendship. I hope you'll take that with you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, have a great day and make it count. Namaste.